Y'all, my coworker just did my hair. I don't know how to act because it was hard out here in these streets. But I digress. So I wanted to do this video today on 10, maybe more than 10, not gonna lie, 10 reasons why you should move to Miami. Sorry, I'm clumsy. But 10 reasons why you should move to Miami, Florida, and what it has to offer. And then I will do another video on 10 reasons not to. That one was hard, but I got y'all. I did it. Alrighty, let's begin. First reason, which is probably the most obvious reason, is the weather. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, coming from up north, like when my parents call me and I'm seeing that it's 8 degrees, 18 degrees, 20 degrees, I don't miss that. I have no problem going back home, moving back if I really have to. But the only reason I wouldn't right now is just because I don't want to do the cold anymore. Like 23 years of doing the cold, I'm done. So weather-wise, it's amazing. Yes, there's rainy season, which is like in the summertime. But for the most part, like even when it rains, it is nice. And the thing about the rain here, it'll rain for like 5 minutes and then the sun comes back up again. So it's not always a whole day of rain. It's more of like 5 minutes, let me take a break. I might come back for another 5 minutes and then we good. So weather-wise, it's a vibe. Let me take this scrunchie off because no, that is not cute. Second reason to move to Miami is the nightlife. Now, I'm not even specifically talking about the clubbing, although that is a huge pro. I'm just talking about how it looks here at night. It is a vibe. My favorite thing to do in Miami till this day, out of all the amazing things it offers, is just driving at night. Because one, less traffic, and two, it is so beautiful. Like, you know how Times Square is beautiful, and then like New York City and all the lights and the lights on the bridge and all that stuff. Miami just lights up at night like no other. And then you have the palm trees on top of it. Y'all tu sabe. The third thing is the fact that you don't have to worry about state tax. Like they don't have income tax or whatchamacallit. Like, you know, up north where I'm from, you know, there's federal and then there's state, and that comes out of your checks. Here it's just the federal and no state. So you know how like jobs down here pay a little bit lower. So like let's say you make 36K and then up north you find a job where you make 42K. They're still the same thing because that 42K, you know, you're getting taxes taken out, more taxes because of the state tax. So, you know, good thing is we have tax returns so you get that money back. But I mean, it's kind of equivalent to that 36K a year job because it's like, you know, here less taxes come out, so it's almost does that make sense? It's like that job up north that might pay you $6,000 more is still going to take out more taxes. So it's kind of like you're still getting paid 36K, which would be equivalent to, you know, a job here. Does that make sense? Because here it's taking out less taxes. So it's like you're almost getting a raise because it's like, wow, up north they would have taken out maybe an extra $100, but here I get to keep that extra 50 bucks or, you know, 80, 30, whatever the case may be. So that is also a huge plus. And even when you're getting a car, not a car, but when you're registering for your car, like in CT, yearly I gotta pay my car tax in order to register my car, and that's a once a year thing. Or is it every 6 months? I don't remember. Here you don't have to worry about that. So once I change my plate over, I don't have to yearly worry about paying and keeping up with the tax. So I hope that made sense, but I do low-key kind of suck at math even though I've passed with A's. Fourth thing is the island vibes and the culture. Now, I didn't fully get to experience growing up in New York like most people, but Eastern Parkway is life, Mount Vernon is life, Brooklyn is especially the Flatbush area is a vibe. But like I said, I didn't go to school in New York, so I never really had a lot of West Indian friends from other islands. Like everyone in Connecticut is Jamaican, Haitian, and then straight out of Africa. But no one was really ever from like the other West Indian islands. I had one Trini friend, and she actually moved here when we were teenagers, so that was literally it. Everyone else was Jamaican. So I love that down here when I say that I'm Dominican, people are like, oh, of course I know that, girl, I'm Haitian, because a lot of Haitians don't even know that, or Jamaicans let alone. But down here people either know somebody Dominican, have friends, like it's a thing. It's like New York, certain parts I should say of New York, and I love it. And their carnival, child, anyways, that is a experience. It is a vibe, and I have not participated in a carnival in years. just because I literally came out the womb going to the Eastern Parkway, Caravana, so many different carnivals that I really had to retire from the game. But I'm so happy I came back because I experienced my first Juve last year and everything, and it was a vibe, okay? And I was just so happy. I always talk and love to, I just love my culture and my West Indian culture. And so to see so many other islands like St. Kitts and Barbados, like I literally have a Bayesian friend here who's also a teacher. And I just love that because it's like, oh my gosh, like now I have other friends from the island. So the island vibes is amazing. And of course, you know, Miami is super close to all those islands in general, Cuba and Haiti, and you know, I'm closer to the islands. So of course you're closer to the islands. Cruises are cheaper because, you know, a lot of cruises like to take off from Miami and then into other islands. So take advantage of that. I can't wait until COVID dies down again to do a cruise. And yeah, island vibes here, it's immaculate. You know, like there's New York and then there's here. And if you want to experience island vibes in another state that's not New York, it's here, Florida, especially Miami. I see Houston's trying to catch up though. I see what y'all doing over there, and I'm with it. I'm with it. Bilingualism. If you are bilingual, specifically in Creole or Spanish, you will thrive here. Job-wise, you will thrive here. My dad never taught me Antillean Creole, so I just luck out, and my Spanish is un poco, pero soy aprendiendo. Like I'm still learning as we speak. But one thing I love is a lot of people really don't speak English that well all the time, so they go into their, you know, what they know. And for me, Spanish is something I'm still trying to master, so I really love that people speak to me in Spanish because it really helps me know how far I am in my Spanish, and it helps me practice my Spanish even more. So I love that living here has pushed me to do that. Like I have neighbors literally talking to me in Spanish, complaining about other neighbors, and I understand it, which is amazing. And I'm like, wait, what do I say back? But I love that I'm even starting to understand the conversations that are like happening around me. So again, when it comes to learning a new language, the best way to learn it is always to be around it. But like I said, it is a melting pot of cultures here. So I literally had one of my students, I would say, literally say she's never just met a regular Anglo-Saxon white person. And that's when it hit me that I was in such a different, you know, experience. Because in Connecticut, you don't meet just straight up white people. Here, they got stuff in them, you know, like a white Hispanic, a white, you know, all that jazz. But bilingualism is the truth, and if you're trying to learn a new language, come here. I mean, hey. And I believe they do free Spanish lessons virtually on meetup.com. I have yet to partake in that, but that's a vibe. Food, but specifically the price of food, okay? Yes, it's always going to be cheaper in the South compared to up north, but the food prices are amazing. Like I remember when I went to the world's famous rib shack here, and this is when I was just visiting, like just coming here for spring break. Don't ever do that, by the way. But I didn't know it was spring break when I came. So their food, it was like I was able to get ribs, I got to pick the rice I wanted, and then I was able to get collard greens and mac and cheese, cornbread on the side. I didn't care for that as much, but all of that was $13. And if I were to even just get ribs and rice in Connecticut, that would have definitely been a good 16 and up. I'm just saying. So the fact that I was able to get that with sides and I got to pick my own rice, yeah, the food here, and I have so many other examples of different food spots where like you're really getting your money's worth, and it's so inexpensive. Like it is so inexpensive to eat here, high key. There's always going to be bougie places, but for the most part you can definitely get a good amount of food here. Even like seafood boils here, there's a spot where you can sushi, there's just a spot where you literally are not breaking the bank. And I think that's another huge reason I'm able to eat out kind of, not often, but a couple times every month, because it's like I'm getting a lot for my money's worth here when it comes to food, and the food be hitting. So I mean, and it's to the point where Florida put me on lemon pepper. Like I used to hate lemon pepper stuff, now I live for it. Like I be cooking lemon pepper chicken. I've changed so much. Another pro, this place is great for single people. What I mean by that is I personally, like I went to college, and I went to college out of state, and I had the dating life or whatever, but I feel like here everyone is low-key single, everyone's trying to mingle, and you can just be walking and crossing the street, and next thing you know, you're going on a date tomorrow, the day after that. So it's just, this is a great place if you are single and you really want to make friends. And I mean that even like if you're just trying to have friendships, all that stuff. Like literally, that's another thing I want to say too. The people that I've met here are so amazing, and that goes with my 8th point, which is people here are friendly AF. Like I have seriously met the most genuine people here. Like people here will call you. People will call you here just to ask the simplest question, how you doing, or did you get home safe? And just the things like I just said, like my coworker even wanting to help me out. She didn't even want me to charge her for this, but of course I did. But it's just like people here are so genuine, and I think it also has to do with just the energy you put out, you're gonna attract it. So I think I've finally been able to attract a really good tribe around me and village, and that's important. So yes, the people here are amazing for the most part, and you know, even my neighbors, like I've had so many moments where I can't open things and I just go to a neighbor or someone, whoever I see, and they will just open it. They won't even hesitate. They won't grill me. They won't look at me up and down like you probably would up north. They're just gonna do it. And I love it. There are even moments where people help me with my groceries. It's just like the little things. And Miami sometimes can be like a bougie South. Like I always call it the bougie South, because they do have some New York ways in them for sure, but they still got the courtesy. So I mess with it. I love that. I love that people walk past you and say good morning, good night, good afternoon. That's such an island thing to do. So very friendly. And yes, people here are really nice and really genuine. That's the key word, genuinity. Did I say that right? Yeah, I think I did. Another good pro, and this might be for people who already live here, this is gonna be like nothing to you guys, but for me this is a pro, and it's the fact that I get to wear crop tops more. Like in general, just like dresses and crop tops more, because you know up north we actually get all 4 seasons, okay? So in the summer we get to pop off, and then the fall we get to really pop off, and then you know that's about it. We only get a couple months of crop top weather, and we might still pop out here and there, but it'd be cold. And so I love that I can really throw on a crop top at any time of the day, and it's still warm, you know what I'm saying? All right, we back. It kind of stopped, but yeah, I love the fact that I can wear dresses and crop tops and even sandals whenever I want. Another thing that I love here that I wasn't able to get in CT, there are duplicate stores. And what I mean by that is you won't just live next to one Publix. You'll live next to 20 Publixes. You won't just live next to one Pizza Hut. You'll live next to like 5. And you won't just live next to one Dollar Tree or Family Dollar. You'll live next to 20. And that's what I love. I love that everything is in my area. I can literally walk to the grocery store, and I can walk to clothing stores and things like that. Like I don't even have to really drive, but I do. And I love that there's duplicates of everything. Like, do you know how much of a luxury it is to live next to like 2 Pizza Huts or 3 Pizza Huts or even 2 to 3 Walmarts? That is so unheard of in CT. Like in Connecticut, you have to go to the next town to go to like your TJ Maxx, and the next town to go to your Walmart, and the next town to go to your Marshalls, and the next town to go to your, just so many different places. In Miami, you're getting like 30 of every same store. And that is so cool. I love that. I really love that. And even my coworker, when she was doing my hair, she was just saying like she loves that about Miami. And I'm like, exactly. And I think that's for the most part kind of even outside of Miami too. But I personally appreciate it, because there's been times where one Dollar Tree won't have something, and I'll go to another one, and then another one, and then the 4th one gonna have it, or you know, whatever it may be. And I love that, because that is such a luxury that I never really had until I came here. So that is a huge pro. I don't know about y'all, but that is a huge pro. And another last thing that I'm definitely gonna end off by saying is the last pro is something I didn't know that I needed until I got my first place, which is this place, is balconies. That is something that is just not unheard of, but our balconies up north is like the fire stall thingy if you're from New York, or like the patio areas, or if you have a house in CT, the porch is your balcony. But here there's balconies all the time, and I appreciate that because it's something I never knew that I needed. Even as a photographer, I love that I have that natural lighting. I can do shoots on my balcony. I can just sit out there and enjoy the breeze. My dad loves it now. Like, everyone looks forward to the balcony. I take some bomb pics on the balcony, and in general, it is, like I said, it is amazing. Literally, I'm getting majority of my natural light in here at the moment from the balcony, and I never knew that I needed a balcony. That is literally amazing. And it's pretty easy to get a place with a balcony here for the most part, but everyone's moving down here, so good luck, good luck, good luck. So those are all the pros and just reasons why you should really move to Florida, or specifically Miami, Florida. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like it, comment what was your favorite pro. I really try to think outside the box for some of these, because some of these videos, you know, they can say the same things. But let me know what you think. Like it, like, comment, and subscribe. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And yes, adios.